Good evening, everybody. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Good evening. Oh boy, just give me a moment. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negro. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense, because here on this platform, okay, I apologize. I pressed something by mistake. As I stated before, um, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense is because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. Well, I like everybody know, for the first time, I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. I also need to let everybody know that the subscriber mode is enabled. What does that mean? That means that if you are not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe to the channel. Also, I'm using my phone to do the live stream. So hopefully that will alleviate some of the snafus I've been experiencing on past streams. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether it be from day one or just recently. I really appreciate all the love and support all of you have given me. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Twitter, whether it be TikTok, whether it be Instagram or YouTube. I really appreciate the love and support. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices. So what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do go live, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. Now, actually, we're in the final week of season 5 of Uncommon Sense. And starting next week, we're going to have a new season under a new theme. And I will show you what is that theme. Just give me a moment. Yes, that's right, everybody. That is the new theme for season 6. The uncommon folk are here. Is here. Now, just to give you an idea, who I refer to, the uncommon folk are all of my supporters. We are a unique group of individuals who believe in logic, who believe in analyzing things and coming to logical solutions. So season 6 will begin next week, Monday. which brings up something that I'm going to be doing Monday night. Okay. Monday stream will be a special stream regarding parenting in today's age. Today, parents are facing many difficulties and many trials and tribulations in trying to bring up their children in a manner that they deem fit. So today, parents are facing many difficulties and many obstacles. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a discussion regarding that topic. Now, for the first time, the panel will be closed because the only ones which will be allowed on the panel are people who are actually parents, whether it be they're taking care of their own biological children, whether it be they're taking care of foster children, or they are raising their own grandchildren. So basically, the platform will be open only to parental figures. So basically, I'm going to be the only non-parent in the panel. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be asking a series of questions regarding the challenges that they face as parents. Also, even though everybody else will be restricted from the panel, you will have the opportunity to ask questions of any of the guests. So it's going to be an interesting time, an interesting topic, and I really hope to see all of you there. Okay. So we're going to have other surprises set aside for season 6. So I'm going to try to think outside the box regarding topics. Okay. Of course, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that this platform is a safe space for everyone to express their point of view. Now we're going to have another round of In My Words. Okay. So many of you by now are familiar with the petition that the Radical Latino has initiated, which is to have Latinos and biracial and multiracial people to be recognized for the 2030 census. Okay, and he started a petition. Actually, the petition is both in the chat, and the petition is in the description of the link. So throughout this week, I will be discussing the petition. And also, I'm going to ask you to please consider to sign the petition, which all you have to do is enter your full name and your email address. And I'm going to ask you if you would consider sharing it on your social media, okay, which I have done. I don't know what's the current standing. I think they're up to 70 or 75 signatures. Okay. So the goal is to get 150 within 30 days, which is possible. And I know and I understand that there are people who may have reservations about it regarding what is the motivation or why we're doing this. The fact of the matter is both Latinos and biracial people need to be represented in the census, and we each need to have our respective communities, which people from each community is allowed to express themselves as they see fit and to be respected. Okay. Now, of course, I've come across some resistance regarding it and regarding what is Radical's motivation behind all this. I think it would be better if we focus on the goal, not necessarily the why. Okay? Because we can always speculate on the why. but I think it's more appropriate to focus on the goal itself, which is representation in the census for 2030 and to have their own community of which they feel comfortable to be themselves. Okay, so I'm going to ask that take that into consideration before you decide whether or not to sign the petition. Okay. Of course, if you don't feel comfortable signing it, don't do it. Okay. No one's taking a gun to your head. I'm just asking you to consider it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. Now we're going to get into another round of what the heck this is. Okay. It seems like I'm living rent-free in Volatile Vanguard's mind. Okay. Because he's busy with his conflict with me. Why? I can only speculate. Recently, he took it upon himself to share content from me without my permission and then stating that anyone would share. Not exactly. Okay? Let me make this perfectly clear. According to YouTube rules, you cannot share another person's content and make it as your own. Okay? That is called infringement. Okay? What I'm going to be doing from now forward, I'm going to be keeping close attention. And anytime that anyone, and I repeat, anyone that shares my content without my permission, they will be hit with a strike. It is that simple. Okay. And Mulatto Vanguard, I understand that you're going through a great deal of trauma due to your messy divorce with high vigor. Okay. Regarding whatever, whatever is going on. And I guess you two are going to be fighting about who's control of the Malalosphere. Good evening. I don't know if this is okay. Good evening. I don't know if this is the real King Macho or this is a troll. But in any case, as long as you're respectable, you're welcome. Okay. Now getting back to my point. Obviously, he is dealing with emotional trauma. Okay. And he's suffering from a rare case of massive stupidity. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share an audio clip from my Instagram account. Unfortunately, I'm streaming from my phone, so I cannot share. So I'm just going to share the audio.
It's a gift. Laughter is a gift. And that gift is manifest in every single one of you. God put something stupid in every single one of you that the rest of the world is supposed to laugh at. So when you cover up your stupidity, you are robbing people of a blessing. That's called a sin.
Yeah. Now, apparently, when it comes to hybrid, I'm not correction. When it comes to Mulatto Vanguard, okay, you know what? Look, the only reason why I'm focusing on him because he decided to share my content without my permission. So that's the reason why. So apparently he's suffering from a massive case of stupidity. And I am going to do my own thing. Okay. I'm just going to focus on being the best version of myself. Okay. And let me make this perfectly clear. I am not taking a gun to anyone's head to consume my content. If you don't like my content, then don't watch it. There are literally hundreds of thousands of YouTube creators out in these YouTube streets doing all types of content. Okay. So you're more than welcome to enjoy their content if you wish. Meanwhile, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that this is a safe space for everyone to share their point of view. It is that simple. Okay. So that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. Okay. Okay. If you can see by the thumbnail, the topic for tonight is Christianity an option. Now, let me explain to you what motivated me to discuss this topic. Okay. One thing we have noticed today that we see many people who are acting the way they do due to a lack of what I call a moral compass. In other words, a set of guidelines, a set of principles that determine their actions and how they interact with themselves and with other people. Okay, you see it every day in these social media streets when people acting all sorts of stupidity, when people are acting foolish, when people are even committing crimes out in public, out in social media. Now, there are many ways for one to develop a moral compass. Okay. Some choose New Age, others choose Islam, others choose Judaism, others use atheism, which even though there's no belief in God, I do believe that atheists have some sort of a moral compass. Okay, we may not fully agree with it, but they have it nevertheless. So tonight I'm going to be talking about why to consider Christianity. Let me make this particularly clear. This is not a put down to anyone that does not embrace Christianity. This is not meant to shame anyone into practicing Christianity. What I'm doing is simply bringing it as an option. And good evening, AMR. Thank you very much for stopping by. Now, AMR does have his own YouTube channel and he does produce his content. I think he said, AMR, I think you said you were MGM, multi-generational mix, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, please forgive me. I am not familiar with all the terminology regarding all the different groups in the racial and multiracial sphere, so to speak. Okay, so, and also, just to let you, know, if you can pass the word to Kimmy, I'm going to be doing a stream Monday night regarding the issue that parents deal with today, raising children. And I would appreciate it if you can pass the word to your better half. Maybe your better half may want to share her experiences as a parent. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't know if you are a parent, so unfortunately, um, the panel's going to be close to parents. So what I'm going to ask you if she could hit me up on Instagram. My name and Instagram is cute1ny, so therefore I can send her the link to join. Okay, I really would appreciate it. I'm also going to reach out to some of the other people that are parents um, to join the panel, so they can share and educate us what are their experiences uh, regarding being a parent today. Now I'm going to get into the topic. Uh, what consider Christianity. And I see we have Keisha in the house. Good evening, Keisha. As I stated before, Keisha, Monday I'm going to be doing a stream regarding the challenges that parents deal with. I don't know what that means, AMR. So if you can clarify that, I would appreciate it. So I'm hopefully, Keisha, you'll be available to join the panel. Oh, one more thing I completely forgot to mention when it comes to it. To the people who frequent my cyber home, if they wish to share my content, just let me know ahead of time, okay? And the only reason I'm asking this because Mulatto Vanguard took it upon himself to share some of my content without my permission. Yeah, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna enter it in the chat. Just give me a moment. Okay, so that's my Instagram name, and that's my name on Instagram. Okay, so I don't have a problem with people who visit my platform on a regular basis, sharing my account. Just give me a heads up. That's all I ask. And what I'll do is I'll reach out to some of those people and ask them to share my content. Okay, because look, um, one thing I disagree on many things regarding hybrid figure. One thing I will give him is that his stuff is original. I'll give him that much. Now, now let me just break it down to you as far as certain things regarding Christianity. Okay, first of all, anyone can become a Christian. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, male, female, young, old, fat, tall, whatever. Anyone can become a Christian. Okay, and basically, a Christian, in a nutshell, is a follower of the teachings of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Okay. Don't worry, I'm not gonna make it into a Bible study. Okay. But I'm just want to give uh, rationale and a legal rationale regarding this. Okay. Now basically it's open to anyone uh who's able to reason, which is basically people can who can discern what is right from wrong. Okay, people who are mentally unstable, whatever, it can be a problem. Okay, so basically anyone can be a Christian. Okay, and one of the problems that people have when it comes to Christianity and Christians is that it seems like they have two misconceptions regarding us. Conception number one is that we're too judgmental, that we love love, we love to judge people. We are, we are overly critical, whatever. Okay. Now, I'm not going to lie. Some of us are critical. Some of us are very judgmental. So I am not going to lie uh, regarding that. So the other misconception is that people have what I like to call a Disney version of Christianity. And what is a Disney version of Christianity? That basically we just love we just love everybody, and everyone's love. God is love, and we don't talk about anything else. I mean, yes, we talk about love. Okay, we talk about love uh, according to what we see in the Bible as love. Okay, but the best way for me anyway to describe Christianity, that it is it is a philosophy, it is a way of life. Okay, okay. If you take a look at Christianity in its most basic nuggets, it's love of God and love of your neighbor. And who is your neighbor? Your neighbor is anybody. It could be your family. It could be your parents. It could be your spouse. It could be your coworkers. It could be anyone that you encounter on a regular basis. Okay. Now, of course, the message is simple. Unfortunately, people throughout the centuries have taken Christianity and make it twisted to see all sorts of crazy stuff. And unfortunately, people have used Christianity or used scripture to justify a lot of evil stuff. We got to keep it real. Um, Christianity has been just to justify slavery. It's been used to justify uh, segregation. It's been used to justify hatred. Okay. Um, it's Christianity or some warped interpretation of Christianity has been used uh, to excuse and accept just about every conceivable form of evil. Okay. Now, one thing that I will want people to understand, that there is a moral code. Okay. There is a code of conduct, so to speak. There is a way that we as Christians um, that we strive to interact. Okay. Not just about amongst ourselves, but other peoples who do not embrace what we believe. Okay. Because one of the problems is we appear to be very judgmental and critical regarding, um, yeah, regarding Christianity. And, and one of the things I see people tend to do, they tend to talk a lot about hell. Okay, hell, you're going to burn in hell if you don't do this. You're going to burn. Okay, look, I'm not going to lie. Okay, hell does exist, but heaven does exist. And the problem is you have people constantly talking about the stick and not talking about the carrot. So you need to describe it, okay? And you need to be honest. You need to be factual, okay? And you need to have a basic understanding regarding Christianity. And for us, one of the most effective ways is the Bible, okay? Because the Bible spells out for us how to conduct oneself. The Bible shows examples of people who God have used in order to achieve great things. And when you think about it, it shows us that God can use anybody for any purpose. Okay? All we need to do is just allow ourselves to be used by God. Okay? And it doesn't matter. You could be young, old, you could be educated, non-educated, and what have you. You can be used of God. Okay? And also the Bible, okay. Okay, there are many books that have been written regarding how to live and how to conduct yourself. For us, the Bible is the main source of inspiration. It is the main source of belief, whatever. Of course, there are many denominations and many dogmas is there. Okay, also there's a basic belief which um, salvation cannot be earned. It is a gift. And the reason why it is such, because we believe that we were born um, in sin, which is the way I like to put it is when doing the complete opposite of God tells you to do, and their wages of sin. Okay. Also, one thing that I would like everyone to consider is that it applies discipline. Okay. And what I mean by that, okay, first of all, we understand, excuse me, we understand and we can appreciate the fact that the world tells us to interact and do things in one fashion. Sometimes the world tells us or encourages us to act in a way which is contrary uh, to what we believe. And sometimes it could be a struggle because look, the fact of the matter is we all want to fit in. We don't want to be outcasts and what have you. However, the way that we live is different. Okay. Different in our philosophy, different in our ways, whatever. Okay. So what we try to do, we try to live our lives based on the tenets and teachings that Jesus of Nazareth taught us. Okay. Are we perfect? No. Are we going to make mistakes? Yes. Okay. One thing we have to bear in mind is we're not perfect. We're just trying to live decent moral lives according to what if you want to call it that way, a Jewish carpenter. Okay. And at times Christians will struggle. Okay. Because we're faced with different problems, we're faced with different difficulties. Sometimes we're faced with trials and tribulations. Sometimes we wonder, does God hear us? Does God understand what we're going through? Okay, which is perfectly natural. Okay. The Bible talks about that Jesus wept at Lazarus's tomb. Now, we believe that Jesus is the Son of God. So if Jesus is able to weep at the tomb of a friend, you can understand what we go through. Okay. So it is a discipline. It is a moral code. Okay. Now, in all truthfulness, the one who inspired me to have this topic was my dear friend and cyber sister, Denise Gonzalez. Because she mentioned something which I find fascinating. That even though she's an atheist and does not believe in that God exists, she does recognize that in Christianity there is a moral code. There is a form of discipline that's there that is something that makes us unique, that we don't act, like what the world acts. That there is a guideline for us to follow. And I find it fascinating that an atheist can understand that. Okay. I suspect that she's a Christian in the science, but you know what? That's neither here nor there. Okay. But I find it fascinating that she is able to see all that. And I just wish those people who, for whatever reason, don't know about Christianity, reject Christianity, would consider that. Okay. Again, are we perfect? No. We don't claim to be perfect, okay? And we will never be perfect, okay? And what leads me to another thing. There are many denominations out there, many denominations, okay? But the message is basically the same, okay? While our differences regarding the thing called sacraments, differences regarding whether Mary was a virgin or not, or what have you. There are other doctrinal differences, but the message is basically the same. Is that that Christianity is based on love of God and love of neighbor. Okay, and there are what I like to call three principles, basic principles in regards to Christianity. Accountability. Now, what does that mean? Okay. Accountability means is you recognize that you are at the point at your life when that you realize that you have missed the mark, which we call sin. You are at the point when you realize that you tried everything that you can on your own to try to have some sort of discipline, normalcy, for lack of a better term, in your life, but you have failed. And that you are unable to earn salvation by your own means. That you did what you did. Okay. In fact, one of the tenets of AA is recognition that you have a problem. Okay. And in order to successfully deal with a problem, you have to admit you have a problem. So that's where the accountability comes in. So the first element is accountability. The second part is repentance. And what does that mean? Okay. Basically is that you acknowledge that you have strayed and you don't want to continue the path of life that you've been leading. And you want to lead another path, a path where God is centered and you try to live your life according to God's way. Okay. So that's why we call repentance. Okay. You turn away, you renouncing the wrong that you did. Okay. Which brings me to the third element, reformation. Now, in this part, okay, you are taking accountability for your actions, you have repented for your actions, and now leads you to the part where you're going to do your best to live your life as a Christian. Okay. Are you going to mess up? Yes. Okay. No one can go through life without making mistakes. And sometimes people make huge mistakes. Okay. Whether it be uh, whether it be in a career path, whether it be choosing friends, whether it be choosing a spouse, whatever. Everybody and everyone is going to make mistakes. Okay. The key is to acknowledge, learn, and then move forward. Which brings up something that's very important about Christianity. It brings accountability. Okay. What it does, it helps you to become more aware of your actions. And to become more aware of your action, therefore, you're going to think twice before you perform an action. Okay. You're going to think twice. Okay. So when you're thinking about that next step or those words or whatever you're going to say or do, you're going to think and you're going to think, should I say these things? Should I do these things? Or maybe I should not. Okay. Which of course it teaches you how to act. You see? So basically what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna try to lead your life in a way that as best as you can follow Christianity. Okay. Follows the Bible. Okay. Which leads two things which is very important in everyone's life, every Christian's life. Prayer and reading the Bible. Okay. Prayer is basically talking to God. Okay. You're letting God know what's on your mind. It's more than simply the Our Fathers and what have you. It's simply having a conversation, and then you remain silent so God can respond, and God will respond. God will speak to you. God can speak to you in silence. God can speak to you in scripture. God can speak to you in a song. God can speak to you through other people. Okay. And I'm going to give you a case in point. Many years ago, I was going through a difficult time where I keep getting laid off, and then I got into a state of depression. And then there's a song, actually it's a Christmas carol, which is basically my favorite, called What Child Is This? And if you listen to the lyrics and you listen to the meaning, basically what the way I was getting it is that I should leave my cares and my worries to God and let Him act. Okay. I'm trying not to make this into a complete Bible study, but but there's certain things that need to be shared. Okay. So it does teach us how to act. And another positive thing that about being a Christian is that you belong to a community. Okay. So in other words, you belong to other people who think more or less the same way that you do. Of course, everyone is a little different. Everyone, and I repeat, everyone will have a slightly different view. But what it's like a support group. Okay. One thing, when you go to a church, and this when you go to a healthy church, it should be like a support group where when it starts with the pastor, the elder, the minister, the priest, the staff, and you have the members of the congregation. When it's a proper church, it's a healthy church, it is like a support group. Another thing to bear in mind, the denomination is not important, okay? And this is something that my Catholic brethren need to hear. The denomination is not important, okay? And now I'm going to explain to you why I'm saying this. Because sometimes we can get hung up on the denomination. Well, I'm a Catholic. I'm a Baptist. I'm a Presbyterian. I'm a Pentecostal. I'm an evangelical. I'm a fundamentalist. I'm a whatever, okay? The denomination that you join does not matter. What matters is if you decide to become a Christian and looking for a community, you look for a community where you're going to feel at home. Okay? That's what's important. Okay? Unfortunately, there's been a lot of wars regarding denominations, and nations have fought each other over this issue. Okay? And again, the message itself, it's simple. Who are the ones that complicate things? Us. We are the ones. Okay. So just bear in mind the denomination is not important. As long as they treat the basic principles of the gospel, that's the main thing. Now, there are certain pseudo-Christian cults. Okay, like the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Mormons and what have you. Now, one thing that's common with every Christian group is that they believe in the Holy Trinity, that's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They believe in the basic principles of Christianity, and they believe the Bible is the Word of God. Okay. So what I will say to you is practice discernment regarding where you're going to go. Okay. And in prayer, ask God to lead you. He'll tell you where to go. Okay. And you will find a place where you feel comfortable, where you'll be nurtured, where you'll be loved. True Christians are humble and not judgmental. Now, let me explain to you what I mean by that. And being humble is not saying I'm a worm and a piece of garbage, whatever. No. Being humble is to recognize that you're made in God's image and then you need God. And I see we have Blazing King. Good evening. How you doing? Thank you very much for stopping by. I did enjoy your video earlier today, and I did share with you, so I really want to appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hopefully one day you will consider joining the panel. I get it, you're a little bit shy, but just think about it. In any case, you're always welcome to join the panel. Okay. So basically, the whole topic uh, is Christianity an option? Okay, so basically, I'm just explaining, and the reason behind that is that many people don't have what I call a moral compass. So I'm just simply stating that it is an option for you to develop a moral compass through Christianity. As I said before, Christians are humble. We recognize that we need God, and we don't think of ourselves with a huge ego and judgmental. Unfortunately, one of the problems that we face is that Christians can come across being judgmental, particularly regarding people who don't share our beliefs. Also, regarding certain groups. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this as a Christian. Respect everybody, regardless of what they believe or don't believe. And it's not our place to judge. It's one thing to explain, another thing to judge. We cannot judge because first of all, our judgment is going to be flawed. Okay. So that is not our place. Okay. And to my fellow Christians, I wish you really appreciate that, because some of you, I'm sorry, some of you are extremely judgmental. Okay. Another thing to take into consideration, we're not perfect. Okay. No, we're not perfect. Okay. We do make mistakes from time to time, and sometimes we make big mistakes. And I can tell you something, I have made a lot of mistakes in my life. Okay. And that's okay. We're going to make mistakes. The thing is to be mindful of the mistakes that we made and learn from them. And look at those mistakes as a teaching moment. Okay. Not to beat ourselves over the head thinking about past mistakes, because look, I've seen people that have gone on for years reliving the same mistake again, again, and again. Okay? Just learn from your mistake and go move on. That's all. That's all we it's just expected of us. That's all God is just expecting of us. Another thing that we have to do, and we have to be mindful, is we need to give a truthful accounting. Now, what do I mean? In other words, no lies, be truthful. If there's something that you don't know, say it. Okay. If you have something that you're not sure, say it. But do your research and then provide an answer. Okay. And give what I call a proper testimony. And what I mean by that is just basically don't be fake. Be real. Okay. And I think we have a guest. So before I let the guest in, let me just state that for the record that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the permission of the host of the channel is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your right to see your image. Some of the views people in the hall may be considered offensive to some viewers. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. And now I'm going to add. Good evening, AMR.
Good evening, Jose. How you doing?
Okay, I hope I didn't bore you with tonight's topic.
No, it's all good. Hey, you gotta put the disclaimer out there, and just so you know, regarding me using somebody else's stuff without their permission, that isn't really my thing. You know,
Yeah,
good, bad, or indifferent.
yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of Vanguard did not see it that way. And well, we know let's just say he's a unique character and leave it like that.
Yeah, you got some unique characters around these parts, and I don't see them going away anytime soon. But I did want to, piggyback off of what you said about the moral compass and Christianity and all being an option.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, and like you said before, people have the right to pick and choose what they want to believe in. It doesn't always have to be, Lord Jesus Christ. But when you pretty much, again, like when you go out of your way to commit blasphemy, that's one of the things that I have an issue with, where it's like somebody can say, "Oh, well, they're atheists or they're this." I'm like, okay, fine, but just don't do the blasphemy thing. And evil is going to run rampant in the world, even without religion.
Yeah.
Evil comes in shades and forms.
Yeah. Before I continue, how is your better half?
Oh, she's doing good. Doing her thing on TikTok.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
look, yeah, but you see this, like I said before, there are many people today going around without any sort of a moral compass. So, so people look to different ways for a moral compass. Some people embrace Islam. Some people embrace Judaism. Some people embrace the New Age. Some people embrace other things. So the whole point is just it's an option. Okay. By all means, I'm not compelling anyone to accept Christianity. This is not a crusade. I mean, this is just basically a realistic appraisal, so to speak.
right. And then one of the things too that you said about Christians being humble more so than judgmental. I mean, yeah, we do judge, you know, not necessarily in the sense of just being judgmental in a negative light, but we basically judge in the sense of it's like, okay, well, this is what what you seem to be doing is not necessarily up to standard. And like the saying goes, certain people just can't stop God's plan.
Yeah. And unfortunately, people have used Christianity and the Bible to justify a lot of evil.
Yeah, but and they still continue to do that even till this day. And then
Yeah.
want to hide behind Jesus and God, Bible to get with their dastardly deeds. There's a horrible sin to commit, even though we're all sinners.
Mm-hmm.
But that right there really takes sin into a whole nother level.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing, and also I want to say the thing too, even when it comes to people not necessarily being on all aboard when it comes to Christianity in general, not just like what you listed off earlier, but even Christianity nowadays is really seen as basically based off of people are just going off what they may have heard or what they may have read, and then they take that as it being the gospel truth. Like you may have, okay, well, this was this Christian or Catholic preacher who was going around messing with underage children behind the scenes, and then use that and then try to justify, okay, well, if they're like this, then they're all must be like that. Not true.
Mhm. Well, you know something. One thing it is reported that Muhammad Gandhi um, loved what was the teachings of Christianity. He never embraced it because of the people that did not give um, a proper accounting, so to speak. So basically, he came across too many bad examples.
Right.
And one thing we have to bear in mind, which is why I keep saying we got to keep it real, and we got to keep it, you know, real. We got to be humble about it, and don't go overboard, because sometimes people love to talk about hell, love to talk about hell. They don't talk about, and then they forget. Okay, there's also love. There's also a way how to conduct yourself with God and with other people.
Yes.
So, I mean, and one thing as a Christian, you will be misunderstood. Okay, because unfortunately, we come across as being extremely judgmental, particularly when we talk about things where the world say it's okay and we say it's not. Okay. Also, like I said before, people have this conception that either Christianities are judgmental and that we're a bunch of Pharisees, we think we're better than anybody else. Or people have this Disney version of Christianity when there's nothing but love, 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 love. There's love, but there's also discipline involved.
Yep.
So, and I don't judge regarding what a person stands in God's sight. First of all, that's not my place. Second of all, I don't know what that person is going through. And for all you know, that person could be closer to God than I am.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Which is why
And
we
another
need to
thing
keep
for me
it.
is that Jose is that because me, I went to a private middle school when I was in the 6th grade, and we always had to pretty much you know, attend mass, even when we were in school, and we would pretty much have to write write some form of paper, like essays and stuff, on what do you think you would be right now, without, especially without religion or without the church, or do you think that the world would be a better place if religion wasn't involved? And I kind of looked at that and viewed it a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
because, and even with the question being asked, and I'm not judging that person that asked the question, but I am gonna say that, well, maybe with other things, but there does have to be some form of discipline, and there's got to be some type of, like you say, moral compass and discipline, judgment.
Yeah. Yeah. You know how I define religion? This is my definition. It is man's attempt to seek the answers that only God can provide.
Now, don't, and another thing is too is in I mean there were times where yes, there were I left disappointed throughout my life, and there were times where yeah, I wanted to blame God, you know, or I was disappointed in Him and
Mm-hmm.
some things, and you can be disappointed.
Yeah.
However, that it turned into some form of malice or a form of hate to where I do things that's beyond my character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think really, and I think even when I do attend a church, uh, because my dad technically is my dad's side of the family, they were raised Baptist, and I got the Catholic Christianity side from my mother because her family were raised Catholics,
Mm-hmm.
and they were the most humblest and nicest people you could ever come across. But they will call you out on stuff though if something isn't right. Like they really
Mm-hmm.
are straight to the point.
Yes.
And even that too, and again, and even when we talk about, let's say, support systems and religion is definitely, I mean, it's a part of it, but then when you get that real disciplinary factor coming from that real support system, which is your immediate family,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yes.
really start to look at that. You definitely look at things a certain way, like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So because they were like so old school to where they believed that it would probably that it takes a whole village to yeah, it takes a whole village to raise to raise one kid, one man, one woman in the making, or two children in the making to be better than them in the sense of not being arrogant, but just not going the same route or making the exact same mistakes that they made. Because if they could do it all over, they probably would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing I noticed, like going back in the 40s or 50s or even like the early part of the 60s, I mean, you had, okay, first of all, you have your parents, and then you have the teachers who 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 educate and discipline, and then you have like the people in the neighborhood who kept an eye on you. So basically, it was like a community, and you knew that if if you went out of line, then your community will know about it, and then you'll have to deal with your parents, with the consequences of what you did. So at that time, there was accountability. There was a village taking to look after children. Nowadays, we don't have that. Okay, we don't have that community. No one has the time or the energy to look after children, and um, there's a lot of broken homes. Now, please let me just state for the record, there are single moms that do a great job with their children, and then there are those that don't do this a great job for lack of a positive male parental image. So I don't want it to be construed that I'm attacking single moms or even single dads. I'm just simply stating that part of the reason why people are today is because they don't have that community of support that my generation had and the generation before me. What's your thoughts?
I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree. I mean, and even with the scientific data as to why people do the things that they do, whether they became products of their own environment and they pretty much went down that not necessarily good road that they went down. And it really all, and again, it does come down to choices. Um, in the sense, I mean, yeah, I mean, hell, you even had presidents, you know, they may not be the most popular, but when I bring these names up, and I'm not trying to make this a political thing either, but you do have your Bill Clintons and your Barack Obamas who grew up in a single parent household, you know, and I'm not bring race into the matter either. I'm just saying that that was how they came up, and they were able to work twice as hard to get themselves in that position to where they've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
even talk about, you know, and again, even with the two-parent household thing. Now, again, hell, yours truly. Again, I'm not, you know, again, I'm far from perfect, but people always love to equate that. Well, people who grow up in a two-parent household and do bad things are just as bad as the person who grew up in a single-parent household that didn't necessarily have that, you know, that that basic foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to group that to be one and the same. I mean, like I said, you know, again, that there is no scientific data as to why one particular group of people from economic classes do things in comparisons who don't to people who don't live in poor areas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, now again, does God in a way? Now again, we don't know what type of religion what they believe in, but is there a part in them that where hey, God may have been looking over them? Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you believe in him or not. And you know, and the thing is, you'll even have people that be like, well, how you don't know God or woman?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily know the answer to that either. And
Yeah.
even if God was a woman, you don't think
Yeah.
that, you know, again, I'll be trying to keep myself on higher ground.
Well, look, as I stated before, unfortunately today, um, no, we have people without any type of a moral compass, and we
Right.
have seen what's the consequences with and some of them with some horrible consequences. Um, you know, um, people being killed, mass shootings, people being stabbed, robbed, people being raped. So uh, we see the evidence of people without a moral compass. And again, all I'm saying is this is a this is an option. Okay. Again, there are other options out there. I mean, there are people who follow Islam, there's people who follow Judaism, there are people who follow the New Age. Um, with me, it's Christianity.
Yep.
Now, just to get off the subject just a little bit, are you familiar with Radical Latinos petition to have both Latinos and mixed people to be included in the in the census?
No, I haven't been hearing too much about that. Is this something that just came up recently or?
Yeah, it's recent. So actually, in the description of the stream, there's a link where you can click there and you can see the mission statement regarding the petition. And the whole point is to have Latinos and biracial, multiracial people to be recognized in the census for 2030. Okay. So at some point, whenever you have time, please feel free to check the link. If you feel that it's something that you agree upon, sign it. Okay. We're asking you to just enter your first name, your last name, your personal email. And if you wish to share it, share it. Okay. If you do not believe in it, that's fine. It's just that I'm doing my part because I truly believe that biracial and multiracial people need to be included in the census because for a long time it's like people trying to pretend that the people like you don't exist.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And out of the
So
groups, and that's constantly, growing in numbers.
yes.
Why not? Why not get recognized in the census?
Yeah. And I think it's a first step because then all of you will be able to form your communities. Okay. I mean, us Latinos, we have our own community. The African American community has a strong community. You have the LGBTQ plus whatever community. I'm sorry. I mean, I can't, it seems like they have the entire alphabet. Please forgive me. But, so you know what I just
I get what you're saying though.
So you know what I just do? I just refer to it as the community because I don't have the time or the energy to mention every single.
Yeah, mention every single letter and description.
Yeah, good. After a while, it gets to be a little tired. So basically, I just simply say the community. Some people call them the alphabet community. I just simply say the community because I don't want to how can I say it? Ignore each aspect of the community by simply saying not include them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
Hey, but I'm definitely gonna go over there and check it out, read up on it,
I appreciate it.
and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay. But let me just finish. Okay. Another thing about Christians, we will be criticized. Okay. We'll be criticized for just about everything in the book. And particularly when it comes to certain issues like abortion, gay rights, gun control laws. I mean, look, we have our belief, we have our principles. Okay. I can expect everybody's point of view. I would like it to be reciprocal with us. Your thoughts?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And another thing too about Christianity, to me, I think, which also differentiates us from any other form of religion, is that we're not necessarily ran, or I don't want to necessarily say that, oh, we're not a religious cult, because I don't see it that way. I mean, if people can be a Christian today and decide, well, I don't know, this is the thing for me, okay. Um, it doesn't have to be, but we're not, gonna make your life miserable by following you everywhere you go and make you regret that you left the Christianity or Catholic Church in comparison to other religions that do that, then they know who they are.
Yeah.
But again, that probably might be another another topic for today, but for another day, because you do have, I mean, hell, even like the Scientology religion, which I'm still trying to wrap my head like, what is it that they actually stand for?
You know what? To be perfectly honest, I couldn't tell you.
Look.
And I'm not even going to try. You got me. I mean, some of them belief systems are quite foreign when you think about it.
Mhm.
Okay. First of all, you have the Mormon Church, and you have the Jehovah's Witnesses, and then you have the Moon. Okay, I don't know if the Moonies exist or whatever, still exist or whatever. I mean, ugh, you have just about every conceivable religious affiliation. Um, so I couldn't even begin to tell you.
Right, right. And even with the, and again, and where I live, like there's like this well, there was, and I'm not sure if it's as big as it once was when I first moved up here, that there was a huge Mormon population as well. Like the missionaries would be on their bikes and going around and just going to people's houses, and they would give them money for to take care of them. And I remember also reading or someone giving a description that they wouldn't even allow men of color to be preachers for Mormon churches.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Would you
Yeah.
believe? Would you believe Zacharias was on this platform the other day?
Come on, man. Y'all wasn't y'all didn't start back World War III again, have
No,
you?
we didn't. We didn't.
Okay.
I just need to be said to. Um, please get to the point. I mean, please get to the point because I'm
You
sorry. I
know,
mean,
you know, again, going back to the characters, he's definitely that one in particular.
I understand. Look, okay. How could I say this? He has done with his trauma. I can understand that. I can
Okay.
appreciate that. It's just that unfortunately, he does tend to like go overboard a little bit with the verbal skills. So it's like after asking, like, please get to the point. Please get to the point.
It's like we don't need a whole encyclopedia of the
No,
meaning trying to put out, you know. Just say it and get it over with. I get that part. I mean, even for me, like when it takes time for me to explain stuff, because even I don't want to just come off like I'm rumbling or just mumbling a bunch of words, and it's like, well, what are you saying? Not saying that he doesn't do that, but I know I'm just only speaking on my part that even I don't want to come off that way.
yeah. No, I did speak to him regarding the petition,
Okay.
and he flatly refused uh, due to his issues that he had with radical Latino. And I just said, okay, no problem. I don't believe in forcing people to do anything they don't like to do. I mean, I just, I share, information regarding uh, the petition. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so no, but we did manage to keep it civil.
Okay. Fair and as long as it was civil, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Now, would you believe I was removed from Anthony Ali's platform because Magic got concerned I was going to attack her on the platform?
You know, I remember looking at I remember you did a video talking about that, and and you know what though, and the thing is that, and I guess, you know, for some people, again, I'm not trying to put, you know, her down or put him down, but there is, I guess some people just can't help that, you know, they're gonna be, again, if they see somebody who they've had dealings with before, they're gonna immediately have their guards up.
Yeah. But you know something? I've been on platforms when I share platform with people I have had issues with, and I've been civil.
Right.
Okay. And the thing was, I asked her not to discuss it. I said, why? Because why bring in the luggage to another platform?
Right.
But since Magic has to be Magic, and then she has to like give her side of the story, therefore I have to give my side of the story. As soon as I did that, I was removed.
Wow. Just
Yeah.
like that?
Yes.
Man, oh man. You must have that effect on people.
You know, all I can say to those people, bless their hearts. I mean, because it's like, but you know, but it's neither here nor there. That's all. You know, that's all I'm going to say on that. I
Absolutely.
mean,
You know,
yeah.
whatever floats their boat, that's whatever floats their boat, to each his own. Different strokes for different folks. Okay, you get, it's like the way they, it's like, okay, you got your thing, your situations and stuff set up. Okay, you go over there and set your own stuff up then, and I wish you well. Wish nothing but the best.
But
But I'm just gonna
don't
be
even
over here.
think about approaching my platform.
Yeah.
But
But
you
you know,
know,
again, that's just like, again, at the end of the day, though, some would, uh, they already got their minds made up.
yeah, that is very true. That is very true. And you know something? That is the sad part. Okay, because when you already predetermined, what that does, it destroys any possibility of dialogue. Okay. And that's unfortunate. And in fact, and I've said this many, many times, I met Denise Gonzalez over a disagreement that we had and on a platform on a topic.
Right.
Okay. And I said, and I confessed it to her. I mean, what I heard, it didn't go well for me at first. But I said, you know what? Um, let me give her an opportunity to amplify to say it further. Now here's an interesting question: who will win to fight MTN Eagles or Afro Jet? Okay,
But
you know what? I'm not even going to comment on that one because no, I am not having any more. No, 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 no.
yo, Blaze, that's Blasian clowning.
Look, I'm still trying to recover from the stream that I did Friday, Saturday morning. It lasted. Would you believe that stream lasted almost 5 hours?
What?
Yes.
5 hours?
Yes.
Hmm. That again, I thought again, like right when I finished looking at it, it ended like around the 4 hour mark, the 4 hour and something seconds, or minutes and something seconds.
And would you believe?
And even I myself, I was thinking about it like, I don't know what led to. I don't even know what really got to the point to where everything just completely went left real quick.
You know, you know what? I cannot undo what was done. What I'm gonna do is the following. Moving forward, okay, on all my future streams. If I'm gonna have to mute people, I'm gonna mute people. If I'm gonna put people in, if I put people in the backstage, I'm gonna put them, and then just deal with the consequences later on.
Yeah.
But would you believe that stream got close to 400 views?
Yo, everybody came to see a fight that night or that morning. Like they just woke up. It's like, oh snap! Like there's a fight that's about to break out. So we about to get to let's go ahead and watch this. Could be a hit.
Yeah. And then
But
after that,
but at the end though, especially when everybody was like sort of laughing at it at the end, at the almost like pretty much at the end, but then I could somewhat see to where like you were hurt by that.
yeah.
Because I think that that's not how you wanted necessarily your stream to come. I mean, yeah, there's problematic people that you've dealt with before, and there's a time and a place and knowing how to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
But and even with and again, what kind of like for me, like what simmered it down a little bit was with Denise having fun with it and laughing about it.
Well, you know what? I noticed that the streams that I did that got over 300 views is either because there was some sort of mess that was going on, or is it race related? And it's like, really? I mean,
And that's the thing too. Even when it's something like, even though like the because I know whoever was on the panel you guys talked about a whole lot of different things, and whether you agreed or disagreed, you were able to just like, okay, we have different points of views on this, so let's switch and let's talk about something else. And sometimes even when you go dabble into something else that's kind of controversial, you're going to get a whole bunch of eyebrows raised because it's too uncomfortable for people.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. But you live and learn. You live and you learn. Okay, so you just, yeah,
Because trust me, I know what it's like to sort of get out of character for me, and I still kick my own self in the head, to really think about, it never really shouldn't have got to that point. So I took it upon myself to leave the situation at hand before it really got worse, because I didn't want to, be the one to mess up someone's stream that they're having due to me having a disagreement with somebody in a chat room and they don't even show their face.
Yeah. But the thing is, when everything is said and done, uh, I'm I'm responsible for everything that goes on on the platform. I'm not gonna blame my moderators. I'm not gonna blame the people in the chat. I'm simply going, take accountability for the stuff that went down.
Yeah. And you do your best to move forward, and hopefully, the situation, you won't have another situation on your hands.
Yeah.
That nobody can necessarily come to the table without already knowing in advance, okay, I don't know why we're talking about this and it turns into a shouting match rather than an actual conversation.
Okay. I can tell you what we won't be discussing. We won't be discussing slavery. We will not be discussing who had it worse, the house servants or the field servants. We're not going to have that. We're not going to have that discussion. Okay, you want to have that discussion? Don't have it on my platform.
Yeah, I feel you on that, man. 100%.
Yeah, but the thing that really got me triggered when someone say golden shower is like, oh no.
But
Uh,
they said that?
yeah, someone from the panel actually said that.
Oh, wow.
So I asked the person that said it, please don't mention that term in your closing remarks.
Right.
But you know what? 6 months from now, we're going to be laughing about all this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, and again, I don't know, again, like even when you have your segments or streams at time, even about the humorous stuff that took place a while back, even before I came around these parts. And even when I'm having a bad day and you have one of those streams, I'm like, yo, I was having a bad day up until I saw that stream, and that really just really took everything that I was upset about, and that made my day a little bit more joyful. I don't
I
like
mean,
race, religion, and politics conversation. You know what, Kai Shell?
actually,
Hopefully,
it's Keisha.
Kish, sorry, I butcher names. My bad, but yeah, I get what you're saying because those things are very touchy and difficult to talk about, especially when people that's speaking on it, not just for the sake of just having a conversation on it, but when they're speaking on it, 9 times out of 10 they really don't know what they're talking about, and you realize how people think and all that gets exposed.
Yeah. Oh, it's pronounced Keisha. I'm sorry. I have been mispronouncing her name for 3 years. Okay, Keisha. I'm sorry.
thank thank you for the thank you for putting that together for us.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have been mispronouncing her. I'm sorry. I've been mispronouncing her name for years.
But nah, though, but hey, but Jose, but going back to the humorous stuff, like when you was telling the story about what took place on the little trip down to Florida, and and hearing Denise's commentary on it, where she said you two were supposed to be connecting with the Lord and not each other, and I was like, well, it was a lot of connecting going on.
Yeah, there was a lot of connecting. It's
Yeah,
just that it wasn't a spiritual connection though.
yeah, but but every time I just hear her saying that, I'm just like I could be running around the house and I'm just hearing her words. You're supposed to be connecting with the Lord and not each other.
Oh boy, what get me is that she said to me, "Oh, say you outdid yourself."
Right? Oh, I was, and meanwhile, I'm sitting here with the sour, bitter grape look on my face, like, hey, well, all I had to say was, damn, hey, he was lucky that night, made a connection, and but yeah, though, but that's the thing too, though, and maybe, um, because I was out today and I had to like do an assessment, and there were some questions that even the therapist was asking me, and I my ride back home, I was like, I was thinking about that. What is the things that I do, and why do I have a tendency to really go overboard when I know I shouldn't be?
Mm-hmm.
And part of me kind of thought about it on the way back. I was like, well, a lot of it comes from a place of jealousy, envy, bitterness, um, and a lot of people always doubting me that I can't, that always saying that I can't, or always hearing no, 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 because they don't think that I have what it takes, and then when I prove them wrong, um, it's I still got that bitter, huge chip on my shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and that bitter chip on my shoulder sometimes turns into an obsession. I don't know if it's good or whether if it's bad. Obsession,
Mm-hmm.
like it's like for me, it's like okay, it may not. It's like okay, it may be good enough for other people, but for me, it's just like I don't know if it's. Maybe I'm seeing myself being too much of a perfectionist, and I don't do anything perfect at all. But who does though?
Yeah. Well, which brings me to the final point. Admit when you're wrong. In other words, be humble and say, you know what, I screw up. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Blazing King, for stopping by. And if you got a chance, check out his latest video that he did. Actually, I shared it on my platform.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey, Blasian, I saw that one that you did, and even though the person that you were like talking about, it was I'm like, oh my god, here we go again, like more of this stuff. And that's one thing when you're a part of the MLS community or any other community, you tend to still deal with this 24/7. It's like a never ending cycle and it's nonstop.
That is very true. That is very true. Very true. So, like I said before, one thing, just admit when you screw up, take it as a learning experience, and move it forward. Your thoughts?
Oh yeah, and at the end of the day, you become a better person than what you were the day before, the week, or the month, or even the year before.
Hmm.
Um, Again, it's like you never want to leave the same way you came in. And sometimes, for people, I mean, even me at times, I guess, it's like oh, you're just too much of an apologist or too much of a, you always gotta apologize. I'm like, well, here's the thing. You can only apologize for stuff that you know you have done versus apologizing what you know you did have that you have not done.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, I'll apologize for the stuff that I've done.
Yeah.
And even though I really don't want to, but you know what? I will take it upon myself to be the bigger man
Mm-hmm.
and suffer for it later.
I agree. I agree. Well, like I said before, and the whole premise is to consider Christianity as an option. I mean, and the whole point is that each and one of us, need to find a way to develop a moral compass. So that's the whole goal of the discussion. So, speaking about discussion, any idea when you're going to be doing another stream?
Not that I know of for sure, but when I do though, just be sure to have your notifications turned on and make sure you hit that bell. And again, you just never know. Because lately, again, I've been like doing, even when I do streams, it's like I would like to, again, like try to get people to sort of like use their critical thinking skills and putting on their thinking caps on before they make a decision, before making that, decision without thinking it immaturely.
Yeah. So what do you think about the comment that Keshaw, okay, put in regarding apologizing is hard sometimes?
Oh yeah. I absolutely agree with that. It is, yeah. It is hard sometimes. Because like I said, whether and that could come with a lot of other reasons. Whether it's because either if it's too much pride or you may feel in your heart that you really don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You thought like you didn't do nothing wrong, or you stand by what you said, or it's like, okay, well, you can stand by what you say. But then again, sometimes even when people say it in the tones that they say it.
Yes.
Or
looks
even
like you
said,
yeah.
even
Looks
when
like
we
you,
said, oh, go ahead. Sorry about that.
I say it looks like you're going to get another subscriber. Our friend Keshaw is going to subscribe to your channel.
Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it.
Yes.
And you're more than welcome to hop on the panel if you want to.
Well, she knows that, and actually, you know what? I've learned how to pin the link on the chat without having me have to download the link several times. And actually, I'm using my phone to run
I've been
this.
trying to learn how to do that ever since I started doing StreamYards, and other people got it. Hell, even Kimmy could do it, but I can't. Like I always gotta keep copy and pasting the link and putting it in the chat, but I never can have it pinned.
Okay, you know what's the key? Okay, this is what I do. Once I created the stream,
Mm-hmm.
I'll put the stream in the chat, and then what I will do is I will highlight it, and then there's a couple of dots, and one of the options is to pin the link on top.
Okay.
Okay, and I see we have Don Armando in the house. Good evening.
Oh, what's up, Don Armando?
Yeah. I think he had another stream. I mean, that's what happens sometimes. People have streams on the same night. Or is it tomorrow? I don't know.
Are you talking about for his or?
Yes.
Nah, but wait to again. Let's wait and see what he has to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody else is thinking about joining the panel. Oh, yours is on Friday. Unfortunately, mine is on Friday as well, but mine is at 10 o'clock. So at least I'll be able to hop on for, well, depending when you go to do your stream on Fridays. Um, of course, Monday is going to be my first closed panel, because basically I'm gonna be the only one that's not a parent on the panel. So what we're going to be talking about is the issue that parents have when they raise their children, because it's like they have like a lot of issues, particularly now when you have the trans community wants to teach kids younger and younger in order to accept lifestyle. And then there was this trans person who threatened to use a gun in order to use the ladies' room, even though this person is still biologically male. Do not ask me why.
What I wasn't even going to. I just like, wow, like literally, like they got to use guns in order to get their way. You talk about spoiled and entitled.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean, talking about entitlement. Now, look, this is what I think, and I could be wrong. I think those trans people should have their own separate bathroom, so that way they can do what they need to do without being harassed either way.
Right. Because and that's the thing too, like because the world that we live in, that we going in, is like new world order stuff. All it really kind of like for me, all it does is just really like pretty much make me want to have pretty much a old school conservative way of living. You know. Now I'm not now again now I don't yeah I'm not discriminatory towards anybody. I love everybody, but at the same time I don't like this stuff sort of being shoved or forced down my throat if I don't want to if I don't necessarily don't want to be interested or learn anything about it. It's like, okay, you got your thing, then you can go teach this else, but you're not going to teach it over here. Plus, I'm 35 years old.
Okay.
But
Okay, Dynamando. Okay, excuse me, Dynamando. Do we need it? Do we need to go there? In case you're wondering, there's a certain individual which we're not going to name, that they have disagreements with. I mean, okay, let's calm down, people. Okay, let's calm down. Okay, you know, now you know what? I don't need another back and forth. Okay, look, let's us say we all disagree with each other and just leave it like that. Okay, never mind, and no more, please, no more No more Star Wars terminology regarding Wookiees. Okay. Okay. Good evening, Grand Machan of time. Yeah, but you know what? It happens. It happens. Um, I mean, look, I hopefully you had a good time regarding your fundraiser. Okay. So now, I will be doing a stream Friday night at 10 o'clock, which which I call open discussion. Basically, I just talk about a whole bunch of random topics, and then if the audience wants to, have anything they want us to talk about, we go ahead and do it. Um, but you know what, Grand Machan, uh, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Um, if I am, please excuse me. My French is not the best in the world. Um, but I do recall that he did give an interesting appraisal regarding the string I did regarding Ebony K. Williams and her remark regarding she wouldn't date a bus driver. Basically, the whole point was us to give an assessment without all the emotional trauma involved. Because unfortunately, people, mainly men, got upset.
What was it about?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was asking, what was it about?
Okay, actually, it was dealing with okay the remarks that Ebony K. Williams made about she was on another platform, so she was asked was she considered dating a bus driver. Her
Mm-hmm.
response was she would date the owner of the bus company. And then she gave her explanation behind that. And then some of the men went overboard and talking about how entitled and how masculine she is and all that sort of stuff. And all I said was she had a right to her preferences and she had a right to say whatever the fluff she wanted to. People may not like what she said, which is fine. But she does have a right to express her point of view. And basically, a lot of the criticism came from the men.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You know what, Grandma Sean, I've started seeing some of your streams, and some of them were quite interesting, particularly when it comes to you dealing with sacrifice. Okay. Well, I mean, look, I mean, he has the right to identify to self-identify as how he sees fit. And I said it accordingly. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop to wrap it up because I am not planning to do another 5 hour marathon. One was more than enough. So what are your closing remarks?
Um. So far, I really don't have any closing remarks other than, again, I appreciate you having me, and And I also want to, again, thank everybody that's in the chat room, from Malaysian, Don Armando, K Shell, Grand Ultimate,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh.
and like I said, whenever I do a stream, like I said, make sure you turn on those notifications and hit the bell, and you'll know when I go live.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm just going to give you my closing remarks, which is the following. The whole point of this stream was to discuss how Christianity can be an option in providing a moral compass. It's not in any way to denigrate or disrespect anyone who holds a different belief system, okay? I'm just simply chose to discuss one aspect, one possibility. When everything is said and done, I think society would be better off each one had some sort of a moral compass. If we did that, there wouldn't be so much sadness and tragedy out there. Well, in any case, I appreciate everyone that appeared on the chat. Excuse me, I don't want to like start naming people because then I'll forget somebody and then someone will get upset and what have you. But in any case, I appreciate everyone who appeared in the chat. Emma, thank you very much. What I'll do is I'll send you the link through your Discord, through the Discord, and then hopefully, whenever you have the time, hop on the panel.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, Monday stream is going to be closed because it's going to be open to parents. Okay. But yeah, just because basically I just want to give like a parents an opportunity to share their point of view regarding some of the issues that they deal with. Okay. So in any case, I'm going to ask you, if you have not done so, please subscribe to AMR's channel. Please subscribe to my channel. And let's be good to each other. So that being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And I wish everybody a pleasant good night. Take care and peace.
Be strong.
Peace and good night.